Okay, we're back. I just wanted to share a little something today about, again, like what made me decide BeBalanced was right for me. Because, yes, I am working here now. I am one of the natural hormone balancing specialists. But before that, I was a client. So I thought nothing is better than starting out with a little before and after here. And when I came here, the lower half, this was me just in January 2019, starting this out. All right. This was me in March, literally in March. So at this point, I was down like 20, 21, 22 pounds. Currently, from here, I'm down over 30 pounds, close to 35 pounds. I do have like a 3-pound flux, if you will, up and down, but for the most part, I have stabilized for the last probably 4 months at this point. When I was on the weight loss portion of it, I lost 21 pounds, and then I went into what we call our maintenance program, and I maintained. And then when I went into lifestyle, I lost an additional 14 pounds. So that's what I'm trying to talk about today a little bit, because we've been having, a lot of questions because there's so many plans out there. It is confusing. People are starting to address hormones because they're realizing hormones are an issue. So there's a lot of skepticism with what we're doing because it is natural, it's homeopathic. And if it's something that you really don't understand, I remember back in the day thinking like organic was weird because I didn't even understand what that term was back when it was first being used. And now that I understand how homeopathics work and how it doesn't matter whether you have 100 pounds to lose or 20 pounds to lose, your body's just going to take what it needs. It's going to do what it needs to do, and you're going to be left in balance ultimately if you follow the program. Just to kind of validate what I have done in the past, I have struggled with my weight since I had my daughter. Again, just to reiterate that if you haven't seen my other video. So for 23 years, I have been at least 15 to 20 pounds overweight. I have tried counting points, which has worked, and then it hasn't worked, and now I understand why. Because if I had an option and could use my points to have a piece of cake for breakfast and then have, just eat the rest, vegetables and fruits and stuff like that, I definitely did that because I definitely had a sweet tooth in the past. So that's one thing I've tried. I've tried intermittent fasting, which is, I'm not trying to say anything's bad. For some people, these things work, whatever. But for me, it just made me more hungry. So it would work like for a little bit, and then I'd slide back into my old ways. It didn't really change anything within me. And it just ultimately left me feeling defeated as well. I've also tried cleanses. I've tried juice cleanses. I've tried the master cleanse. Those, again, I would maybe feel a little better healthy-wise, but the scale wouldn't really move, and ultimately I'd slide back into my typical way of eating. I've also tried exercise because I really thought that that's what I was missing, because I don't know about you, but I don't really like to exercise, honestly. It's not really fun for me, where I actually have like a sister-in-law that if she doesn't exercise for like 2 days, she's like kind of nervous and jerky, where me, I'm like, yes, I didn't exercise for 2 days. So for me to do a program that I actually worked out every single day for an entire month, and then I was doing a plan for the following 2 months, actually it was 2 months I worked out solid every single day. And then the third month I was doing a plan where you were giving your body rest and all that. Plus I was trying to eat the meals that they were recommending you would eat and everything. And after 3 months, this was my most recent thing before I started this plan, I lost 4 pounds. Okay? So my clothes didn't feel any different. They weren't fitting any different. I was very frustrated because I was getting up early every single day to do this, and to not have the results and the success ultimately again, I felt very, very defeated. So I hear these things now that I am a natural hormone balancing specialist, with clients that come in to inquire about the program, that they're doing all these things, which in and of themselves are good things. And that's the thing, like, we're doing what we're taught to do and what we think is supposed to be right. And on that too, I have to say, I was in 2018 for the first 3 months, I went vegan after watching a video that I won't even say what the video was, but it scared me to death to eat anything animal related after watching it. And so I was vegan for the first 3 months, and then I just couldn't stand it anymore. So I went vegetarian for the next 6 months. And again, I was just nothing changing and all that. Plus then I started all that exercise and all that as well. And so then I became more of a pescatarian. I added fish in, but I still had absolutely no meat that would have blood in it. So that would be chicken, turkey, beef, anything, pork, none of that, for all of 2018. So I prefaced that with, when I came in January of 2019, I still had no meat other than fish, okay? So for the most part, I was still living in the I was living in the pescatarian lifestyle. So when I learned about this program, and I learned that there was, you can do it as a vegetarian, but because I wasn't 100% convinced that that was for me, because some people it really is for. I know people that they thrive and they do really well. But because I wasn't 100% convinced that it was for me, I was open to trying something new. And I can say 10 months later now, going on 11 months at this point, for me, this was the right fit, for sure. Something I learned was, I thought that if you exercise, I felt like exercise was 70% of the puzzle and your food was 30%. That was what I came in thinking. I've learned that it's actually the other way around. So really, you can exercise till you're blue in the face, which a lot of us do, and we're still gaining weight and or staying the same. And that's why. Because really 70% of it is what we put in our mouth. So that was huge for me to learn. And now that I have learned what my body likes and doesn't like, I can, because that's the biggest thing people say is, oh my goodness, I can't give up, cake for the rest of my life, or that vanilla creamer, or now we got, I can't even think, Butterfinger creamers, I think there are, all these sorts of creamers, Snickerdoodle, I don't even know, because I don't drink coffee, I'm a tea girl, but, people are like, I could never give all that up, or I really like my chocolate, or, whatever. This is something that it's very interesting because, just talking to people within the last couple days who've been in the center for follow-up appointments, your taste buds actually change and you're very satisfied. Literally every single person I talk to, we find so much more satisfaction in eating good, healthy food. So you are eating. I do go out with my friends. I do go out with my family. I have family dinner nights at my house every single Friday. I host them. I love to cook. And I eat. I eat everything everyone else does, maybe just not as much of some of the items because it just doesn't appeal to me anymore. But if there's a day that I feel like I want a roll, I will have a roll, and because my body is in balance now, for the first time in my adult life, which again, I'm 45 years old. So really, this has been a struggle for me since my early 20s. And this is something that something that my family deals with as well. So I just kind of, before this, felt like it just was how I was created. And this was going to be how I was just going to have to live. No matter what I did, nothing really changed. So now the fact that I can decide to hit splurge and have something that is processed, does have some sugar in it, whatever, and maybe I'll experience a slight gain the next day. The best thing about it is, in 10 months, for the first time in over 20 years, I can revert back to the hormone balancing foods, the specific vegetables we recommend, the specific meat proteins we recommend, and the specific fruits that we recommend in that phase. And if I live there, usually in like 2 days, sometimes 3, depending on, what I did, I'm back to where I was before. And in the past, if the scale was to move a pound or 2, it continued to move up until I got to a not very good, even higher number there. And so when I say the word, like the phrase that I was stuck, I was literally stuck. My doctor had said to me 3 years ago that I needed to lose 35 pounds. I literally laughed at her because I had not been 35 pounds lighter since I got married. And mind you, I've been married 24 years, currently going on 25. So that was something that just kind of made me feel even more defeated. Again, that, I can't even take care of myself, and, what's wrong with you? You're seeing all these other people out there, they're figuring it out. Why can't you do it? And I was doing all these things that all these people that look like they were killing it and doing it were doing. But I believe for me personally, it was my hormones were not addressed, and I really still wasn't learning how to eat. I really needed to bring it back down to basics and learn how to eat. So every single person I can tell you that follows this plan and is dedicated, and they've just decided they're done for whatever reason. It could be health reasons, like they're tired of the doctor constantly giving them another medication because, first it was cholesterol, now it's blood pressure, now it's thyroid, hormone, even like being on hormone medication. It could be all sorts of stuff, rheumatoid arthritis. I mean, I've had people that, have had everything. Even I've worked with people that have had gastric bypass surgery, and which is very traumatic, and they've only lost like 10, 12 pounds on that after having that done. And so they really needed to learn how to eat like myself, like so many of us, men and women alike. And watching them on this program and watching them succeed, because I knew what it did for me, and I felt so strongly about it and was so passionate about it, this was a very natural fit for me. It was definitely out of my comfort zone because I still am a hairstylist. So going into the health, field is something I never thought I would be doing, seeing I had struggled with my own fitness and health issues for, like I said, over 20 years. So it's been crazy, and it's been humbling. It's been rewarding. We laugh, I've cried many times with people because what I'm realizing is, yes, you do have to dedicate to the plan to really make it work. And you do have to give yourself, I say, a good solid 7 weeks initially to really rule follow and be dedicated and just really buckle down and do it. But if you can get beyond that, what I'm seeing is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Life-changing. I actually had a woman say to me yesterday, who she'll probably be doing one of these videos at some point, this program saved my life. That's huge. And I'm not being dramatic. She said that. This woman's down 50 pounds since July. She's done it the right way. She's done it the healthy way. And she's tried way more than I have in the past. So for her to say this, and her health has really benefited as a result, blood work wise, everything. Her hormones are finally in balance. It's just so humbling for me to get to walk alongside women like you and me during this journey. So I hope it's something that you can just kind of put the skepticism aside and does it really work and all that kind of stuff, because I'm telling you, I've been here working as a specialist since May. Mind you, I personally started the program in January, and what I have seen, I just want to shout it from the rooftops and tell everyone out there, you need to do this, you need to give it a try. Tell your sister, tell your girlfriend, tell your mom, tell your aunts, tell your coworkers. It really truly does work, and I'm very honored and blessed that we have it in our area right here in Greece, because it's not everywhere. We're the only center currently in upstate New York. So we do have one downstate, and there's others, especially in Pennsylvania, and they're sprinkled across the country from there on out. But it's pretty awesome that we have this. So come on in, check us out, see it's not scary. I'm standing right here in the center. We just meet with you. We talk about what's worked for you in the past, what hasn't, where you're stuck, and I look forward to meeting you.